Joe Miller. I'm a sophomore at Gettysburg here, sociology major and elementary education minor. And I was introduced by Professor Paul in the sociology department to do some really exploratory research on this theme park in Singapore called Wapavila. And so I started out the research. I performed a content analysis, a qualitative content analysis, really with no hypothesis, but rather a research question, which was, generally speaking, what were some of the causes for the decline in tourism of Singapore's Wapavila in the 1980s. And so I didn't know a whole lot about Singapore. I had to do a lot of reading about its history just to get a kind of an idea of what's going on there. But I used this method, which is called a content analysis, to look at about 10 different online documents. I looked at some articles, newspaper articles from some of the Singapore newspapers, as well as some blogs from different people who had visited the park. And as you can see here, I tried to include a little diagram of what I was doing. I'd highlight specific terms and then ascribe different codes. And so after I did this, which was a pretty time-consuming process, as you might imagine, with 10 documents, thousands of words of text, I combed through these specific data according to time as well as different ideas, and really teased out some different themes from what was going on. And so for the purposes of the poster, I simplified my results to 3 different categories, but really what was most striking to me from this research was that something as simple as the name of the park can really have strong symbolic meaning. So it was originally created by this philanthropist, and it was called Tiger Balm Gardens. And the gardens were really associated with the philanthropy of the creator, along with the public accessibility of the gardens themselves. But in 1980, there was this kind of revolution in Singapore where they really wanted to make tourism a huge market because at the time the industrial complex was starting to wane a little bit. And so they outsourced to this private company. The private company created Wapavila, which had different theme park rides. There was a flume, that type of thing. And that became really, in the minds of the public, a very private, not institution, but theme park, I guess you could say. And so it was no longer free admission. You had to pay $20 to go in. And so I guess to pull back, the idea that associating a name with whether or not something's public, whether or not it's associated with the original philanthropic endeavor, really had some negative effects. Once it was commercialized, it really didn't retain that success among the locals that it had before, and it really just wasn't qualitatively a good enough attraction for international tourists to go there, repeatedly. And so it's kind of a general conclusion, but just the idea that the sentiment that's associated with a name can really have negative or positive effects on the success of the attraction.